Alright lads, I'm telling you right now, making 100x in a crypto bull market like the one that is coming up potentially this year is really not that difficult. If you want to find out exactly how to do it, we're going to show you what 95% of people are not doing in this video. So hit that like button, hit subscribe, and let's get on with today's content. With some of the biggest names in crypto and investing talking about potentially being near the bottom of the crypto bear market right now, it may not feel like it, but this is really the best opportunity you've got to be able to see phenomenal gains in the next bull market. And whilst you've got every YouTuber and his dog telling you to get hold of some Bitcoin, get hold of some Ethereum, and all these other tokens like this, and why potentially you might see some incredible returns if you actually do this instead. Well, there's a big reason, guys, why most people don't make money in crypto. I'm going to show you right now exactly why that is. So it's pretty simple, right? If you haven't been in crypto before, the first crypto you probably ever heard about was Bitcoin. Maybe you heard about Ethereum, you heard about someone getting rich from these tokens. Well guys, we've got a brilliant masterful diagram right here. Okay, so what we can see is three things I've put Bitcoin, I've put Ethereum, and I've put 100x altcoins. Why have I put these things? Well, I want you to think about when you first arrived in crypto, and maybe this is true for you. I know it's true for me, and it was probably true for a lot of people. They first of all get some money and they put it into Bitcoin, and depending on when you arrive into crypto, this may be a good or a bad investment. If, for example, you're arriving now, then you're probably looking at a potentially good investment because it's heavily discounted from where it was just a few months ago. And the reason you would have got into Bitcoin is because of news articles like this one. This was from the end of 2020 when one of the world's biggest banks told us that Bitcoin was going to go to 300k. So what do you think happened? Everyone rushes in to try and buy the Bitcoin to go to 300k. Maybe in the shorter term they made a bit of money because maybe they bought Bitcoin when it was worth 40,000, it went up to 60,000, and maybe they made 50% on their money. Now what they might have done is then maybe learn about something called Ethereum, because Ethereum was rising at a rate beyond what Bitcoin was doing. They then started to make a little bit of money in crypto, and they got so excited about the opportunity that they were seeing to be able to make enormous amounts of cash. But you know exactly how it is, boys. When you're making good money, you get hyped up and you start to learn about what's making you money. Now, maybe you don't care anything about crypto in the first place and you just did it because a mate told you to do it. But once you started to make money, you're like, well, I need to learn more. We then go and see Lunacoin, Solana, Gala, whatever it is, guys, go up like 100x. And guess what we do? We take our money that's been in Bitcoin and Ethereum and we put it into a 100x altcoin that has already done 99x. We're all getting super pumped up about that altcoin that everyone's now talking about, and we take all those gains we've made in Bitcoin and Ethereum and we buy it here because it must continue to keep going up, and then this happens and we get absolutely demolished towards the downside. We're starting to think, well, it's okay, I'm going to be able to get back in later on, and then we hold and we hold and we hold, and then eventually we end up pretty much absolutely back to where we came from with actually negative gains where we've actually lost all of the money in the first place. Well guys, guess what? I've got news for you. We don't have to do this. We don't have to be sad about what has happened in the last bear market. It's happened, let's forget about it. How do we get on and learn from it and become much more successful in this bull market? Well, I want to show you something important, and that can be done over on our good old trusty friend CoinMarketCap. This, if you don't know what it is, guys, has a link to every different crypto out there, of which there's around 22,223 cryptos today, so you can say that maybe it's difficult to choose winners. What I want to draw your attention to, and this is so important in trying to find our 100x gains and why Bitcoin and Ethereum are probably not the place to do it. Bitcoin right now has a market cap of $326 billion. That's a lot of money, guys, as I'm sure you're aware. Every dollar that I put into Bitcoin, so for example, if I was to put in $10 to Bitcoin and I wanted to see $30 come out, Bitcoin needs to gain like $650 billion for me to 3x my money. And it's pretty likely it's going to happen because Bitcoin will go back to all-time highs at some point. Maybe it's not this year, maybe it's into 2024, but that doesn't really matter, because basically this channel is for people who maybe don't have a huge ton of money to be investing in coins where they're going to see a 3x. Because even if I take 5 grand and I 3x my money and I walk away with 15 grand in a couple of years, but what's the point in being in this what's the point in being in this game for degenerates that is crypto without being able to make degenerate dirty big gains. Like I've said, if I want to be able to turn my 5 grand in and potentially turn it into 100 grand, 500 grand, maybe even more, if I'm serious, if I have a number of things on my side, one being maybe a bit of luck, two being a bit of knowledge, then we want to be looking at different tokens down the list. And the reason for that is because market cap is king. We're not going to make 100x on Bitcoin, because 100x on Bitcoin would be such an enormous amount of money that it's just not likely to happen. It might happen later down the line, but right now, probably not. But what we got in a bear market that we don't have in a bull market is a lot of the money that's usually spread out among the altcoins goes back into the Bitcoins, the Ethereums, and in fact out of crypto. So if we come down the list, and I talked about Solana the other day, and a lot of people are going to tell me, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, that's fine. But since I made that video, Solana went up 40% in just a week. So don't worry, guys. Solana is currently sat at $4 billion. In the last bull market, Solana was worth about 33 times more than it's worth right now. So for example, your $100 would be worth $3,300. Your $1,000 would be worth $33,000. Your $10,000 would be worth $330,000, which, depending on who you are, is pretty life-changing in terms of sums of money. So I'm sure you're aware, Solana for me is one of my tokens that I'm taking forward into this year. That's not financial advice. I'm not telling you to go and buy anything. I'm just saying that this is a token that is hugely undervalued, because it's massively fast, it's super cheap, and it is a great blockchain technology that's been crushed recently by news from the FTX drama, which we've already seen happening recently. So, in my opinion, it's undervalued. Anything that's undervalued has to move to a position of overvalued before it starts to be sold off. We then want to identify ecosystems within crypto. So there's a variety of different ecosystems, from things like decentralized finance, into gaming, into metaverse Web3 stuff, and all of these different ecosystems have their own place within crypto. So for me to basically create a portfolio of a variety of different tokens, I basically need to go and find what I think is the top token for each of these different ecosystems. So I've already told you my blockchain of choice for this next bull market is Solana. I'm not saying there's anything against Ethereum, it's just Ethereum right now has a market cap of $154 billion, which when you compare to Solana's market cap of just over $4 billion, you can see where the growth really is likely to come from. Now, another great feature of CoinMarketCap is if we look over the top here, where we can look down through and find tokens such as Phantom, currently sat here with a market cap of $626 million. Phantom again is probably over 90% down on its all-time highs and will potentially see enormous growth into the future. We've got the NFT space, and while you might think NFTs are a bit of a joke, the NFT marketplace itself will evolve and be used in various other things, such as in gaming, where you can buy different tokens, different characters, different pieces of land, etc. Here we've got a few things that I'm interested in. We've got the Sandbox, you've got Decentraland, and you've got Axie Infinity, all within the kind of metaverse NFT, GameFi space. And crypto gaming, I think, is going to be enormous moving into the bull market, because gaming itself lends itself so well to being paired up with cryptocurrency and play to earn features. And I want you to notice how the fact that I'm staying in like page 1 of this cryptocurrency market, remember there's over 20,000 cryptos in circulation, but because of where we are in terms of where the market is, we don't really need to stray down rabbit holes to go and find something away in the distance on like page 6, page 10, whatever it is, where we are literally potentially throwing money down a drain. Now what we basically want to do is, once we put our money in, let's say Solana, and we see Solana do something like a 10 or a 20x. So in this example, I'll say maybe I've put in $1,000 into Solana and I've seen it do 20,000. Now what I can do is I can then take maybe $15,000 to $18,000 of that and put it into something safer like Bitcoin, which is less volatile, where I'll potentially continue to see maybe another 10, 20, 30% of the time, where I might continue to see another 10, 20, 30%. Or I can maybe take out half of that and put it into a stable coin ready to use for something else. But what I can do with that remaining $1,000 or $2,000 that I really don't care about by that point, because I've already made so much money in the other investment, I can then start to look and spread again into potential coins that are going to do 100, maybe even 200x. And those coins may not have even come about by now, and we can look into like the potentials like the previous bull market where we saw Axie Infinity and other such coins absolutely booming. So what we're doing is basically taking these slightly safer bet altcoins, making sort of a 20x gain on our money, and then starting to use parts of that money in order to make educated risk gambles. Okay, so we're basically going and then targeting another 50x, 100x on that token, which if I take in $1,000 and I split it up into like 4 parts, $500, and I turn a $500 into 100x, I can potentially make 50 grand on just a $500 investment. I hope that makes sense, guys. And this is basically the way to make enormous gains in crypto. You don't have to go and chase gains, and do not jump into cryptos that have already seen massive pumps. We're looking for those tokens that show promise and have shown promise in the past that will have people starting to come back to them into the future. Let me know down in the comments 5 of your top pick altcoins. As well as that, get over into my Telegram group where we talk about different altcoins, etc. And we're definitely moving more into altcoins now than we were previously, which is showing that the market is now getting ready for a turnaround as people are gaining confidence and starting to look back into crypto. Now, I also recommend going to the link down below in the description to come across to Fairdesk, where you can start to make some of these purchases with extremely low fees. You'll also get a bonus of up to $600, which you can use to invest in these tokens. Obviously, that's not financial advice. Another thing that's really cool is this copy trading feature, where you can follow experienced traders like myself with just a few clicks of the button. You then don't have to watch the charts, and you will make gains as and when that trader makes gains, obviously not without its risks, so don't use any money that you can't afford to lose. You can see some of the winning rates. You can see some of the returns here in the hundreds of percent, which is obviously very promising indeed. So guys, hit that like. Anyway, so guys, I'm going to be bringing you many more videos, so make sure you hit that like button, hit subscribe, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye bye.